Good morning. My name is Zachary Thayer. Um, when this reaches YouTube, I will be known as the great grandson of Gerald Robert Ford. When you go through the videos of Gerald R. Ford, or Gerald Robert Ford, and the Nixon trial, Richard Nixon, Gerald R. Ford, and James Carter all say hello to me. James Carter is Terry Lynn Carter's uncle. That is my foster mom. Carter Center in California is where I would like to work when I interact with my foster mother the next time. And I will call her Mommy. And if she really would like to, I will even call her that other word instead of an emotional attachment. My entire life, I've had what I've wondered is social anxiety disorder, borderline agoraphobia, post-traumatic stress disorder from the child abuse that I sustained as a kid. Before the age of 12, I had over 75 suicide attempts. It wasn't until I was 35 that I found out about the application of this. 2011, there is a board meeting where the state chooses not to tell me about it. Electrically that year, General Graves, a house fire, my car gets its brake line cut twice, and my adopted brother are all in a car accident. But we choose not to understand that and model assessment to everyone else, to what normal is. The government, as I choose to so identify, based on the right to the House of Ethics, calling the House of Kent, I knew since day 3 of staying with them that they were the Vanderbilts, and that it never made sense to me on why. It isn't until I read this that I understand it, and I understand a calling at a time. Michelle Obama is outside the White House. Gerald Ford specifically asks for Patricia Catherine, General Gavin's daughter. Queen Elizabeth, Sheldon Anderson, based on my understanding, is your half-brother. And it is known domestically that Tabitha Rivas is Princess Diana's first cousin. Now, if, let's say, Mr. Rowe, in the photo that you posted, is an actual KBG agent, what would be being put on the state sex offender list in view of a terrorism act when Kevin has his application in for a New York position? Mary Ann's and Jim are in Indianapolis and could go to their parents' lake cottage still in Niles. But we choose not to ask that until the 45th vice president. I believe that an impeachment on articles under Lang are needed and identified based on his leadership. I could have been told. I could have been surprised. He even states it in a smirk. Oh, we would like to see him as an illegal if he's not going to be already dead. And laughs. I'd like this to be understood as whip Republican in its model, and why the whipping of these federal agents and their whipping lynch model is A-OK. Now, I engage in risk. Last night, after your first cop, now when this is wondered, was it the best time? Was it one of the best feelings in 3 years? Damn well better believe it. Was it worth not? I don't know. But you should have courted it more appropriately. Now, does it still take drugs for me to be able to do this? On Betty Ford's grave, I admit that. I do struggle with that. When you ask the idea of the ability to try another drug, when it's asking a woman to take initiative, when it's asking a woman to maybe buy the beer, drive, hey, you're hot, this is my phone number. CrowdStrike's IPO is enough to make me worry. What are the other divisions of the Onset and the Biotime where I choose not to identify in my medical research until I am granted my PhD? By Wednesday morning or Tuesday morning, the first application for a human trial changes into a research grant. I could spend the next 7 years where I work 60 hours a week, and the only time that I interact is here's a price point and leave. And this is the thought of what Michael's leadership and style of leadership, because of his managerial philosophy, it's not appropriate to ask even his own wife, who took yours? Who took your Trumpy hole? And when that kind of stuff is wondered in Washington, you can even get confirmation from the Chinese, the date and pre-model for 9/11 and where it was identified. It's nice knowing that the son of one of the prime ministers can give you the party and the date of it. But Mike doesn't want to talk, and where the Chinese considered myself a citizen there instead of here, based on the errors. And that is wondered. The general public doesn't understand. And more importantly, Pat's second cousin, the picture of the marathon bomber, the summer before, I would like to give you as a present. But you don't understand that in attachment models, the same way we wonder the impeachments. When this is your sister in Calistoga, and you can maybe come out to Napa, you always say, I'm still a security guard or drive your caddy's golf cart, compared to your Central Intelligence. That just might be the closest way to ever meeting you. When this is wondered more appropriate, though, in my view, and I'll be honest, to the 44th and the 39th president, to the 39th president, I love you.